I was halfway through my presentation on the new marketing strategy when my business partner, Mark, checked his watch and told me to wrap it up because he had a lunch reservation. I stopped talking and looked at the clients who were clearly interested in the data, but Mark was already standing up and closing his laptop as if my input was a mere formality. We had spent 6 months building this firm together, but in that moment, he showed me that he viewed me as a junior employee rather than an equal partner. I felt a sharp, cold realization wash over me that the respect I had assumed was the foundation of our business was completely non-existent. The air in the conference room felt thin and suffocating as I realized I was the only person in the room who still took my work seriously. Mark had always been the charismatic face of the company, but I was the one who did the actual research and handled the complex logistics that kept us afloat. I realized now that he viewed my labor as a silent service that he could dismiss whenever it became an inconvenience to his social life by cutting me off in front of the people who were supposed to fund our future. He was telling them that my voice didn't matter and that he was the only one they needed to listen to. It was a calculated move to establish a hierarchy that we had never agreed upon, and it made the long nights I spent on the blueprints feel like a total waste of time. I could see the lead investor, Mr. Henderson, looking between us with a frown of genuine confusion. Actually, Mark, the most important part of the financial projection is on the next 3 slides, so your lunch can wait 10 minutes while I finish the job we're being paid for, I said, my voice steady and much louder than I intended. He looked at me with a mixture of shock and annoyance, but he slowly sat back down when he saw the investors nodding in agreement with me. I didn't rush. I went through every single detail with a precision that left no room for his dismissive attitude to take root again. I made it clear that the strategy I had developed was the only thing standing between their investment and a total loss. By the time I was finished, Mark was the one looking like an outsider in his own meeting. I didn't go to lunch with him afterward. I went back to my desk and started drafting the legal documents to dissolve our partnership. I realized that I couldn't build a successful future with someone who didn't respect my time or my expertise, especially someone who would sabotage a pitch for a steak dinner. Mark tried to walk into my office an hour later and act like nothing had happened, but I told him that our professional relationship ended the moment he closed his laptop in that boardroom. I made it clear that I would be taking my clients and my data with me, leaving him with a charismatic brand name and very little else to show for it. He tried to argue that I was being emotional, but I told him that protecting my professional dignity was the most logical decision I had ever made. The split was messy and took several weeks of back and forth between lawyers, but I eventually secured the rights to my original work and the core client list. I opened my own firm a month later, and within 2 weeks, every single investor from that meeting had followed me to my new office. They told me that they weren't investing in the brand. They were investing in the person who knew the numbers and had the spine to defend them. I am much more successful now, and I have a team of people who actually listen when someone is speaking, regardless of the time. I learned that respect isn't something you wait for people to give you. It's something you demand by refusing to be silenced.